Hey everyone, this is Ashton here from Without Code, here to give you a little walkthrough of our new YouTube Video Gallery widget for Architect. Here from our demo, you can see we have a fully integrated video gallery direct from YouTube, in this case using the Muse Themes YouTube channel as an example. When we get into Architect in a few moments, we'll take a look at the many ways we can customize the widget, including the header options and the video display options when clicked. But here, showing off all features, we have a gallery of the channel uploads. We can also show a collection of playlists from the YouTube channel. And additionally, we can feature a particular playlist on this third tab here. Let me click back to Uploads. You can enable or disable any of these tab options, allowing you the freedom to really pinpoint exactly what you want the gallery to show. And of course, we can click on any of these video thumbnails, and we get a nice light box pop-up displaying our video front and center, where we can click to play. And of course, click to stop and close out of completely. One of my favorite perks of using this widget is, since the widget is essentially embedding the information from the YouTube channel, as soon as I add videos or make changes to the YouTube channel, those changes are automatically reflected here in my gallery without needing any site republishing, which is great. Let's jump over to Architect and take a look at some of the finer points. I have our method theme open to our About page currently, and I'm going to dive into our Widgets panel. Scroll down to find our YouTube Video Gallery widget, and we'll drag it out onto a new row in the middle of our page. Perfect. And we can already see the Muse Themes YouTube page populate on the page as default in the editor here. First option in our settings panel here is our unique ID. Now, as always, this can be anything you want it to be. It just has to be unique to any other uses of this widget on the same page so that the browser can identify them separately. If you're just using the widget once on the page, you can just leave this the way that it is. Second is our channel URL or user URL. Now, this is where the URL of your YouTube channel is going to go. And it says channel or user URL because both versions are accepted here. The URL to your channel will be one or the other, and that's going to kind of depend on the age of your YouTube channel. Now let me show you where to find this. Let's switch over to YouTube. And I have the Muse Themes YouTube channel open here. Now right from here on the home page, without clicking into any other tabs, my URL is displayed here in the address bar. And as we saw in the widget, this one is a user URL. But since you're going to probably want to grab a new link for your site, let's do that. I'm going to do a quick search for my YouTube channel, which is called Trilogy Media, where we bust IRS scammers. And the first search option here is my channel. I'm going to click into that. And immediately we get our URL displayed up here on top. And this one in particular is a channel URL, but again, either one will work. So we'd select it, copy it, head back to the widget panel, and paste that into our URL field. And if I close the panel here, we can already see our preview updated in the editor here, which is great. Let me undo that back to our default. Next option in our panel is Video Source. Now, as we saw in the original demo, we have three tabs that show by default. We have Uploads, Playlists, and then Featured Playlist. Now, by default, all three of these tabs will show, and this video source option allows you to select which one will show first. Now, we do have options to disable these a little further down, but we're going to get there shortly. Here is where we select what we want the viewer to see right away on page load. Right now we have it on Uploads, but if we wanted Playlists to show first, just switch this to Playlists. And there we go. Now the other option is Featured Playlist. Let's select that. And you can see when we do that, we get a new field introduced here, which is where we enter the URL to the specific playlist that we want to feature. Now let's jump back to YouTube. And let's navigate to the Muse Themes channel once again. And we'll click over to Playlists. Now we have 4 playlists to pick from here, and let's say we wanted to use this third one, Getting Started with Adobe Muse. So we'll click it. But there's one thing to be mindful of here. The page you'll be taken to will not be the full playlist page, but rather just a video player that's viewing the playlist. So if you look over here to the right, we can see the entire playlist displayed on the side. So let's click on the title. And it's here that we're now taken to the actual official playlist page to where we can now grab our featured playlist URL. So we'll copy it and head back to Architect. And then we'll paste that in our featured playlist URL. Perfect. Video playback location. Lightbox is our default option, which we saw in the live demo, but we can also have external link, which will actually just redirect the user directly to YouTube to watch it, or we can select within widget frame. Now, if we select this, you might not see any difference right away here in the editor, but let's switch it over to preview mode, and let's click on a video. And here we can now see a player box appear kind of built into the widget space, pushing the thumbnails downward, which is cool. So let's jump back to the editor. And in our panel here, let's expand the gallery settings. Now, a couple of these options are pretty self-explanatory. We can select the number of columns displayed here and the maximum number of videos to show on initial page load. You can select pretty much any number here that you wish, which will then be followed by a Load More button, for which you can customize the text for in these next three fields: the button, the loading status, and after finishing load. Autoplay video. Now, this is a setting that's only visible when you have the Within Widget Frame option selected for your playback location like we do now. So let's enable this. And if we switch to preview mode, let's go ahead and select a video. You can see that it pops into our widget frame and just begins playing rather than offering the user a start button, which is cool. So let's jump back to the editor again. And while I'm making these changes for the demo, I'll take a moment to mention a side note. While making changes to the settings and the widget options, the gallery will update within the editor, as you've been seeing, but you've also probably noticed how the gallery kind of disappears briefly when I make the changes. This is perfectly normal. You just need to be patient as you progress through the options to give the editor a moment to re-render and update as needed. Disable header. We can toggle this on, and what that does is remove the header bar that was up here that displayed our channel name and logo, as well as the subscriber count. And then finally, the following three options allow you to disable any of the tabs that you don't want visible. So say you didn't want to allow the user to click to all playlists, or even don't want any tabs at all in order to just show one grid. You can do so with these options here. Now, before we close out, let's take a quick peek in the Design tab. Now, I'm not going to go through every setting one by one, but basically what we have here is a lot of the same design tools applied to various parts of the widget. Header styling, let's click into that. This will style up the top bar where our logo and channel name is. And you can see we have various font settings, alignment, color, lots of good stuff. Down into tab styling, this of course affects the text and area where the three tabs are, or however many you've enabled. Then gallery background, just one option here. Make this any color that you wish or select none for transparency. Description styling allows you to style the text by each thumbnail, including the title and view count. And then your Load More button styling, which includes lots of options, controlling the button, text, border, size, all that good stuff. So that's our YouTube video gallery widget. Lots of ease of use here, but it's a great way to integrate media on your site and encourage some cross-platform engagement. So enjoy, and as always, we're here to help if anything comes up. Take care.